When it comes to archaeology, it's often the case that not everything is as it appears. Scholars and researchers might believe they understand what they're examining when they first stumble upon a new discovery, but the deeper they investigate, the more baffling it becomes. In this video, we're taking a closer look at some astonishing findings that confirm ancient civilizations were far more mysterious than we believed. And trust me, these finds will leave you thinking. Number Quince, Ecuador sets ancient astronaut figurines. In the Museum of Quito, Ecuador, you can view a peculiar collection of ancient figurines that defy traditional explanations. These statues are often referred to as astronauts by locals due to their oddly shaped headpieces and non-human facial features. While archaeology dismisses any suggestion of alien influence, the origin of these designs remains unexplained. The cultures known to have existed in Ecuador during the period these artifacts were created didn't wear anything resembling the helmets or suits shown on the statues. Some believe they depict deities or ritual figures, while others argue they're fantasy creations. Still, the symmetry and detail are hard to ignore. There's also a strange absence of cultural context, no myths, no records, no similar styles elsewhere in the region. This disconnect has led fringe theorists to suggest that these figures reflect something encountered, not imagined. Experts continue to label them as stylized art, but the truth behind their inspiration hasn't been, and maybe can't be, confirmed. Number 14. Royston Sepp's underground carved chamber. In Royston, a strange man-made cave was discovered in 1742 beneath the town's crossroads. It came to light when workers digging a hole for a bench struck a stone slab. Underneath was a shaft nearly 16 feet deep, and at the bottom a chamber carved with symbols, figures, and religious iconography. Its origins remain completely unknown. Some believe it may have been linked to the Knights Templar, a theory made popular by speculation following Dan Brown's novels. The carvings inside show knights, saints, and Christian symbols, but curiously also a Sheila Nagig, a pagan fertility symbol rarely found in Christian settings. Scholars can't agree on whether the chamber dates to the 13th century when the Templars were active, or later, possibly the 16th century. The cave's mix of sacred and profane imagery, combined with its hidden location and lack of historical documentation, has left it in limbo. Whether it was a secret place of worship, a private tomb, or something else entirely remains unresolved. Number 13. France sets Pyramid of Couhard. Well, now this is brain-boggling. In the French city of Autun, archaeologists have long been puzzled by a massive stone monument standing over 110 feet tall, known as the Pyramid of Couhard. It's positioned within the ancient necropolis of Enfield, and while Roman influence is evident throughout the region, this pyramid doesn't match their architectural style. Once believed to have been commissioned by Emperor Vespasian in the 1st century CE as a war memorial, this theory has since lost favor. The structure's surface is marked with Druidic symbols, which date to a time before the Romans arrived. That's led some scholars to speculate that the Romans didn't build the pyramid at all, they just built around it. In 1640, frustrated by its obscurity, the abbot of Castile ordered workers to carve a hole into its side, hoping to find remains or hidden chambers. They found nothing. To this day, there's no consensus on who built it, what it was meant for, or why it stands alone, silent and unexplained in central France. Number 12. The Gympie Pyramid of Australia. Outside the town of Gympie in Queensland, Australia, stands a terraced hill often referred to as the Gympie Pyramid, an enigmatic structure that was largely overlooked until its documentation in 1975. While local residents had known about it for generations, archaeologists couldn't determine who constructed it or for what purpose. The terraces resemble stepped pyramids found in other parts of the world, but that's where the similarities end. Surrounding the site, researchers have found objects that only deepen the mystery: a carved stone head bearing a resemblance to those on Easter Island, a depiction of a crocodile, and a stone ape some believe represents the Egyptian god Thoth. Unfortunately, heavy looting in the 1970s destroyed parts of the site and scattered much of its potential evidence. Some theories suggest it was built by Polynesians, others argue for a lost group of Egyptians, and another camp claims it was constructed by 19th century Italian immigrants. None of the theories has ever been confirmed. Number 11. The mystery of the Blarney Stone. According to Irish tradition, kissing the Blarney Stone grants a person the gift of eloquence, known as the gift of the gab. Set into the battlements of Blarney Castle in County Cork, the stone has been in place since 1446, but its origin remains unsettled. Some stories say it was given to Cormac McCarthy by Robert the Bruce in 1314 as thanks for military aid during the Battle of Bannockburn. Others claim it's a piece of the Stone of Scone, used in Scottish coronations. One tale goes further, linking it to the biblical Jacob's pillow, brought to Ireland by the prophet Jeremiah. There's even a theory that it's the very rock struck by Moses to bring forth water in the desert. Despite its fame, no one knows how the tradition of kissing it started. The stone's power has never been proven, but millions have bent backward over castle walls just to press their lips to it. Whatever its origin, the legend persists, and the stone keeps drawing pilgrims. Number 10. The bronze liver of Piacenza. The Etruscans, who thrived in pre-Roman Italy, had a deep interest in astrology, divination, and ritual. But no artifact shows their strange methods more vividly than the bronze liver of Piacenza. Discovered in 1877 near the Italian city of Piacenza, this life-size replica of a sheep's liver is covered in inscriptions and divided into sections representing constellations, gods, and celestial zones. Experts believe it was used by priests to interpret omens and predict the future, likely during important ceremonies. What's puzzling is why the Etruscans would map the heavens onto the shape of a liver at all. The Etruscans were known for examining animal entrails in ritual practices, but using a bronze model like this adds another layer of complexity. The inscriptions seem to match parts of the Etruscan religious system, yet the full meaning remains unclear. Some scholars suggest it reflects a belief that the universe itself functioned like a living body, with the liver as its core. Still, no one fully understands the logic behind it. Number 9. The earthquake-proof towers of the Himalayas. In the remote Himalayan villages are big stone structures known as the Himalayan star-shaped towers. These buildings stand over 100 feet tall and have withstood centuries of earthquakes without toppling. Their construction technique remains unclear. The star-shaped design doesn't resemble anything else in the region, and local texts make little to no mention of them. Attempts to date the towers using carbon techniques have yielded inconsistent results, ranging from 500 to 1,800 years old. One theory is that local ruling families commissioned them as symbols of prestige or spiritual power. Another idea suggests they serve defensive or ceremonial goals. What confounds researchers most is the lack of engineering knowledge available at the time to create such structures, especially with stone. While some argue that they are the result of lost techniques passed through oral tradition, no evidence has confirmed that. Their resilience, form, and silence in records make them one of the most enduring architectural riddles in the Himalayan region. Number 8. The Siberian Ram Skull Warrior. In 1968, archaeologists in Siberia uncovered the remains of a warrior from the Tagar culture encased in an ornate burial mask like many others found in the region. But this one was different. When researchers scanned the interior of the 2,100-year-old mask decades later, they found something unexpected, not a human skull, but that of a ram. The Tagar people were known to mummify their dead and craft death masks, but this is the only example where the head had been replaced entirely. Experts suspect the warrior may have died in battle and lost his head, and his kin substituted the animal skull so they could still carry out proper burial rites. It's also possible the ram held symbolic meaning, perhaps believed to carry the soul into the afterlife. While no written records exist to explain this practice, the uniqueness of this case has stirred debate among scholars. Whether a symbolic gesture or a practical replacement, the burial remains one of Russia's most curious archaeological finds. Alright guys, now let's move to number 7. Syria Seps Ancient Norius of Hama. The ancient city of Hama, Syria, is home to a collection of giant wooden water wheels known as Norius. While they might resemble oversized Ferris wheels or medieval mill equipment, they were designed purely to lift water from the Orontes River for irrigation. What makes them remarkable is their age. These norias date back nearly 2,500 years, making them among the oldest known examples of mechanical water lifting technology. There are 17 in total, though not all are fully intact. Some were damaged during recent conflicts. Early depictions of these wheels appear in mosaics from Apamea, dated to 469 BCE, confirming their ancient origin. Yet historians are still unsure who first designed them. The size, balance, and engineering precision required to build them are far beyond what was expected at the time. Unlike later water wheels, they weren't connected to mills, just to canals, serving a purely agricultural purpose. Their age and functionality continue to surprise engineers and archaeologists alike. No one knows who deserves credit for their invention. Number 6. Kenya SIP's abandoned city of Gedi. Nestled within dense forest near Malindi on Kenya's coast lies the abandoned city of Gedi, a site that still challenges conventional historical narratives. Although the ruins mostly date to the 13th century, they show evidence of advanced infrastructure, coral stone buildings, mosques, palaces, and even running water systems with flushable toilets. For a seemingly isolated settlement, Gedi was remarkably connected. Chinese porcelain and Venetian glass found in excavations prove that trade reached across continents. Despite this, no one knows exactly who built the city or why it was eventually abandoned. The presence of mosques suggests an Islamic population, but written records are missing. Gedi's unique blend of technology and isolation contradicts the outdated notion that pre-colonial Africa lacked architectural or engineering sophistication. It's clear that Gedi wasn't just a local outpost, it was part of a broader, thriving network. The silence that followed its abandonment has left only questions. Number 5. Georgia SIP's Sweetwater Creek Stone Circle. In Douglas County, the Sweetwater Creek Stone Circle holds some of the Southeast's strangest ancient carvings. While many local petroglyphs are abstract or astronomical, the engravings here depict something different, what some researchers think may be a representation of the mythological creature Mayabuya. These carvings are believed to be the work of the Arawak, a group known to associate such entities with sacred territory. The surrounding area contains ancient settlements dating back roughly 3,000 years, and the timing lines up with the age of the carvings. What's strange is that the designs closely resemble petroglyphs found in Arecibo, Puerto Rico, homeland of the Taino, a branch of the same cultural family. Adding to that, there's a town named Toa in Georgia, identical in name to a Taino region. This raises questions about whether trans-Caribbean migration or cultural contact took place long before European arrival. Whatever the truth, the stone circle seems to tell a story, one that spans centuries and thousands of miles. Number 4. The Jelling Stones of Denmark. Harald Bluetooth is now best known for lending his name and rune to Bluetooth technology, but centuries ago he left behind something far more lasting, the Jelling Stones of Denmark. These massive carved stones chronicle the Vikings' slow religious transition from Norse mythology to Christianity between 826 and 965 AD. Depictions on the stones begin with classic Norse imagery, gods, warriors, legends, but eventually show Christian figures overtaking them. The transformation is visual, literal, and historic. Danish scholars view the Jelling stones as symbolic birth certificates for the Danish kingdom. They also mark the beginning of the end for Viking pagan culture. Despite a thorough study, some carvings remain unreadable, sections worn by time or possibly coded in meanings now forgotten. Unlike typical Viking runestones that praised raiding and honor, these serve to declare faith and identity. While most of the story is clear, a few pieces are missing, and without them, we may never grasp the full meaning behind Harald's carved message. Number 3. Ghana SIP's ritual figurines from Yikpabongo. In the village of Yikpabongo, archaeologists unearthed 2 mounds containing dozens of ancient figurines, each carved with exaggerated features and distorted limbs. These ceramic figures, roughly 1,400 years old, are thought to have played a role in healing rituals. Some scholars believe they were used to absorb sickness or negative energy, particularly conditions like congenital deformities. The figures bear uncanny resemblance to real-world conditions such as an encephaly, suggesting that the artisans may have intentionally sculpted them to reflect physical ailments. Recent analysis revealed something even stranger. The figurines contain tiny internal channels, possibly used to pour liquids, oils, or medicine during ceremonial use. That detail adds a functional element to what were once thought to be purely symbolic items. The mounds where they were discovered are believed to have once served as shrines, though no written records explain the rituals performed there. These objects, half statue and half tool, reveal a side of ancient Ghanaian belief systems that was deeply physical and symbolic. Number 2. The rock art of Golan Heights. In mid-2018, archaeologists working in the Golan Heights uncovered an ancient megalithic tomb decorated with a kind of rock art not previously seen in the region. The images were carved directly into the stone inside the dolmen and depict 7 horned animals, 3 facing east, 3 west, and 2 in the center facing each other. Researchers interpret the central pair as symbolic representations of male and female forces, possibly used in fertility or ancestor rituals. What makes the site stand out is the sophistication of the imagery. While dolmens across the Levant often contain scattered lines or markings, this one is clearly deliberate. Its builders cut and placed massive stones with such precision that even modern researchers were surprised. But there's still no evidence of written language or pottery. The tomb dates back over 4,000 years, yet no nearby settlement sites have been found. So it's a big and very murky mystery. Number 1. The Sacred Grove of Osun Osogbo. In southwestern Nigeria lies one of the last remaining sacred groves of the Yoruba people, the Osun Osogbo Sacred Grove. It's dedicated to Osun, the goddess of fertility, whose spirit is believed to live in the river that cuts through the grove. According to Yoruba belief, Osun transformed into the river after a confrontation with Sango's wife, the god of thunder. Women used to bathe here in the hopes of enhancing fertility, surrounded by elaborate sculptures of humans and creatures with distorted or exaggerated features. Though the grove is filled with human-like statues, many bear non-human traits, elongated limbs, oversized heads, or mismatched body parts, raising questions about what they represent. Whether they're depictions of spirits, ancestors, or something else is still debated. Though the site remains culturally important, much of its early context is lost. What's clear is that the grove blends spiritual purpose with artistic expression in a way rarely preserved elsewhere in Africa. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.